Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Garnett's Brigade, Army of Northern Virginia. The 8th, 18th, 19th, 28th, and 56th Virginia Infantry Regiments, commanded by Richard B. Garnett. The 19th Virginia, as I have mentioned 1,000 times, and I'm going to mention it again because that's how proud I am, is my relative's regiment. And I am proud to say that I have Confederate ancestors not only on this field, but also in all the aspects of the Civil War from Virginia. Now, Pickett's division was very prominent in its basically status of being a Virginian division, all Virginia. And in the movie Gettysburg, it is a false quote by General Armistead, but Michael Shera on The Killer Angels writes a speech that Armistead says in the woods waiting before Pickett's charge. He tells, oh my God, what's his name? The British diplomat, or the British Army diplomat. Oh my God, it's slipping me. I can't believe it. People who are huge Gettysburg nerds are going to be like, Logan, what are you doing? But you know what? I forget. I'm looking for Garnett's biography when I'm talking about this, but Garnett says to him, he says, Armistead says, all of Virginia is here. Virginia is here, ladies and gentlemen. And that's true. Virginia was here July 3rd, 1863, without a doubt. And Virginia was ready. These boys were waiting in these woods right here as I speak. And they were waiting. Brigadier General Richard Brooke Garnett, born 1817 in Virginia, died July 3rd, 1863, while on his horse in Pickett's charge. My ancestors of the 19th Virginia followed him under Pickett's division in the glorious Pickett's charge. This advance was made in good order under a storm of shells and grape and a deadly fire of musketry. After passing the Emmitsburg Road, the lines were much broken in crossing the post, and rail fences on both sides of that road. But with the shattered ranks, the brigade pushed on and took part in the final struggle at the angle. General Richard Garnett fell dead from his saddle in front of the stone wall. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what my ancestors of the 19th Virginia did. Now, not to be too specific, but I have many relatives on my mother's side of the family, my mom's grandmother's side of the family from Virginia. Most of them were in Company G of the 19th Virginia Infantry Regiment. And Company G was recruited from Massies Mill, Nelson County, Virginia, and they were nicknamed the Nelson Grays, being gray because of the gray color of the kepis or the uniforms of the Army of Northern Virginia, or the Confederate Army in general. And they were recruited in May of 1861, and they took part in many of the glorious, historic battles and skirmishes and engagements of the Army of Northern Virginia from 1861 to 1863. And the 19th Virginia, my ancestors, many of my relatives, the Pontons, the Thompsons, the Fortunes, the Says, anybody you can think of. If you're from Nelson County, or you're from that part of Virginia, like Massies Mill up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, your ancestors, our ancestors, were part of this. I cannot tell you how many relatives I have in my whole tree on the Virginia side that were in this charge. Not just the 19th Virginia, but all across the Army of Northern Virginia line that were part of this assault across the field and onto Cemetery Ridge. Probably 50, 60 distant cousins. And one of the prominent cousins that was in the 19th Virginia that many of you might not know is my very, very distant cousin, the great-grandson of Thomas Jefferson, my second cousin 9 times removed. His name was Thomas Jefferson Randolph Jr., the son of Thomas Jefferson Randolph, the son of Patsy Randolph. Thomas Jefferson's great-grandson was in the 19th Virginia. I believe he was in Company A. And he was part of this assault across the field. Thomas Jefferson, the President of the United States, great-grandson. Think about that. So that's why in the movie Gettysburg, or in the book Killer Angels by Michael Shara. Tour bus. That is why Armistead says in that book, or in the movie, fiction, but it's still inspiring and motivational. He says, all of Virginia is here. All of Virginia. All of the descendants of the prominent, established, prestigious founding fathers are here. Virginia is here. Virginia is willing to answer the call and walk across the field and not make it home. They are willing to do it. And that is what my ancestors of the 19th Virginia, under Garnett's brigade, Pickett's division, were willing to do July 3rd, 1863. So I'm ready to go out in the field, and I'm ready to do Pickett's charge. I'm willing to walk it. Let's do it together. Peace.